What's up guys, it's Ciara here and welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to do a quick video to show you guys two new Preloved Designer bags that I picked up recently that I am obsessed with, and I really wanted to make this video because it's something that maybe some of you guys might not know about or might be interested in. To me, Preloved Designer is a really fun way to shop designer pieces, to get something for a really good price, but also to buy a designer item that has this really lovely story to it. If you are new here to my channel, then I would love if you would subscribe so I can have you back for more videos, and I will be posting a lot more content on vintage designer pieces. So if you're interested in this, then you might want to stick around. Basically, I've picked up two Fendi bags recently on eBay, and the bags in particular that I got are Fendi monogram bags. So I think when Karl Lagerfeld took over Fendi as creative director in the 60s, I think he designed the iconic FF logo for Fendi. So in the 90s and early 2000s, they had that double F Fendi logo everywhere. It was really popular. And then as time went on, they started to focus on different designs and they weren't prominently featuring the FF logo as much. But this year, for their autumn winter 18 and spring summer 18 fashion shows, they have brought back the FF logo. So it is everywhere. I think it's called the Zuka print, has been brought back with an absolute bang, and so many people are wearing it. I think this is all part of the huge logomania trend that we're seeing anyway with fashion. But Vogue did a piece specifically on Fendi and their FF print and how it's set to be absolutely massive. They actually showed that picture of Kylie dressed head to toe in the Fendi logo, pushing her baby, Stormy I think her name is, pushing her baby in a pram, and it's like a Fendi pram. It's so funny. On Preloved vintage websites like eBay, like Vestiaire Collective, even sellers on Etsy, they're selling vintage Fendi or Preloved Fendi for nothing. I mean, you're talking under €100, and depending on what style you want or what kind of condition you want, you can get an incredible vintage or Preloved Fendi piece for an absolute steal. So I'm going to show you one of the ones that I picked up, and it is the Fendi, I think it's pronounced the Zucchino or Zucchino Mama Mini. So this is kind of like the Fendi baguette, but a little bit different. So it is a small size, it's like a tiny little bag, but it actually fits quite a lot. So I picked this one up from one of my favorite sellers for Preloved vintage designer on eBay. There's a few of them that I follow. Most of them are actually Japanese. In Japan, they have an amazing market for Preloved designer, and I got it for such a bargain. It was like in or around €100. It arrived so quickly, and I've actually worn it so much already. I think when it comes to this kind of print and that whole logomania trend that we're seeing so much of, I really like it. I think it's really playful. I think it's fun. And I mean, this style of this FF print that you can see, the 2018 collection of Fendi bags literally have this print, but you're talking bags for like €3,000, €4,000. They're really expensive, and it's this exact print. And what I find so crazy is we're seeing that with so many designers, that they're going back to original designs from, let's say, the 80s or the 90s and bringing those back now. So if you have a look online, you can literally find those designs for next to nothing. Now, I know a cause of worry for people when buying designer online is of course authenticity, and they want to avoid being scammed, and I absolutely agree with you. You do have to be careful, but my advice is to stick with the larger sellers that have that kind of trusted seller logo and all the huge amounts of feedback. I'll actually link my top 5 in the description box. They all have thousands upon thousands. Some of them have tens of thousands of positive feedback. So these are sellers that have been on eBay for years and years, and they are 100% certified. They do not sell fakes. Everything is authenticated. If you're buying from a seller that just has a few previous purchases and not that much feedback or none at all, then you do run the risk of, you know, obviously buying something that isn't authentic. So it is up to you to do your research. You can also get stuff authenticated. I think there are services online that will check something for you and see if it's authentic. Even if you just send them links to the listing, they'll be able to give you a good indication. So that's also a resource as well. I was really happy with this. It is a very trusted seller, and I just love the bag so much. I think it's so adorable. I think this video is going to be the beginning in a series of videos about Preloved and vintage designer, because I've actually made 2 other purchases. One is a vintage Louis Vuitton bag, which I'm so excited to show you, and the other one is a vintage Dior. And those are two other designers that we're seeing a huge resurgence in popularity of their pre-loved items. We are seeing a huge trend of people going and buying vintage designer pieces as a way to save so much money, but also get like a really one-off piece that has a story. I feel like this is something that people are very quickly catching on to. So if you were interested in it, I wouldn't delay that much, because I have seen the prices of these bags go up. People are catching on to this trend. The prices are going up, but you can find amazing bags for next to nothing. When it comes to Fendi, I have seen so many amazing monogram print bags. I've also seen loads of incredible baguettes, and like the Fendi baguette is just always going to be an iconic bag. Obviously it came to fame in Sex and the City. Everybody remembers that scene where Carrie gets robbed and he's like, give me your bag, and she's like, it's a baguette. It's so funny. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to some of my favorites in the description, so hopefully they'll still be available when you watch this. But definitely go and have a look at the sellers that I've listed, because they have bags from every designer, and you will be shocked at how affordable they are and how good quality some of these vintage bags are. I think when it comes to buying designer, people just don't think about vintage designer. I think it's just more common to go into a department store and spend, you know, upwards of 2,000 or 3,000 euro on a beautiful bag, which is absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. You'll have it forever. But I think people tend to forget that if you are looking for something that has a similar vintage version online, you can get it for such a bargain. So I'm going to show you another vintage Fendi that I picked up. I wasn't 100% happy with it, so I ended up buying this second one that I showed you. The first one I picked up is a Fendi baguette, and I decided to cover it in pins because I do love the logo, but I decided to put pins on it because I just kind of wanted to differentiate it from this one. This one's a little bit dressier. This is a great like night out or kind of date night bag. And then I just decided to customize this a little bit just to make it a little bit more fun. So I've covered it in pins, and I feel like this will be a really fun, kind of like a going out bag, but also just something a little bit different. I do love the style of the Fendi baguette. It does fit quite a lot in it. But in terms of shape, I think right now I prefer this one in terms of going with other things in my wardrobe. I think the neutral kind of colorway of this is really, really nice. So if you want to get your hands on a vintage Fendi or a vintage designer bag, but you're not really comfortable going on eBay, or you're a little bit skeptical of it, then you can buy Preloved Vintage Designer on lots of other websites as well. Places like Vestiaire Collective are a fantastic place to go because they are a full company that is dedicated to vintage and pre-loved designers, so everything is authenticated. They double and triple check everything. You can guarantee that you're getting something authentic. It kind of takes the guesswork out of it. I did check before I filmed this, and they have some amazing Fendi bags at the moment as well. Another website that does vintage Fendi is Shopbop. Surprisingly, they're one of my favorite American websites, and they have this exact bag in stock, and they also have another colorway which is so beautiful. Other places to get vintage designer would be your local designer exchange shop. In Dublin we have Shoppa Ella. They're fantastic. They do loads of amazing bags, and I think they have some Fendi in at the moment as well. So I think that is everything that I wanted to cover in the video. I kind of just wanted to give you guys a heads up on the purchase that I've made, but also how amazingly affordable some of these bags are online, and how you can find like the coolest bags and the sweetest bargains if you just kind of take a look and do a bit of homework and keep your eyes open. So if you do end up finding a bag that you love, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know what you got and what you thought of it. I'm really happy with my purchase, and I kind of think I've gotten the vintage designer bug now. Like I said, I have bought 2 other vintage bags and they're on their way, and I'll be doing a video on each of those, and I have my eye on some other ones as well. I mean, it doesn't exactly save you money if you're buying multiple bags, but they're so affordable, it's hard to say no. So I will definitely be doing updated videos on those bags when they arrive, and I can see what they look like and show you. But do let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and if you would like to see a dedicated video on how to shop vintage designer, or if you want to see my vintage designer bag collection, just let me know in the comments and I will add that to my filming list. There you have it, guys. That is my vintage designer bag that I'm so in love with, and I hope you guys like it as well. If you liked this video and you'd like to see more vintage designer designer bag reveals or videos on this type of thing, then do give me a thumbs up and let me know. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, then you should. I will leave a button up here. I post new videos every single week and I would love to have you back for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.